Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the EDEUOEY Ultralight Camping Sleeping Pad. And this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful, I'll put a link to this in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So I'll get this out of the package and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so we had a cinch bag and it came with a vinyl patch. It says cut the patch according to the size of the hole. Thoroughly clean the surface and allow it to dry for more than 10 minutes. Remove the vinyl patch from the paper backing, press firmly over the hole, and inflate approximately 30 minutes later. It comes with an elastic band. It's like a large rubber band. And here's the port to inflate it. So here's a view of the inflation port, and it has a one-way valve in there. One problem I found when you're blowing up air mattresses sometimes, if they don't have a one-way valve, you'll blow air into them and then it will exit right away. I think it's a lot easier to blow up an air mattress when it has a one-way valve. So I don't know where the attachments are for this inflator, so I'll just hold it up to the valve. Okay, so I just found the adapter for it. I'll zoom out so you can watch this inflate. Okay, so the batteries aren't in great shape in this pump, so it took a while to fill up. You can see that the valve is still open, this cap is. You want to close this after you inflate it, but that one-way valve is keeping the air in. But I did run into a little problem there. With that pump not being very powerful, it couldn't break that seal very easy, so I popped this off and broke the seal with my finger to let the air start flowing. And that's a result of the pump. I'm going to get a better pump and we'll try this again. But first I'll show how to deflate it. So this has this little tab here to inflate it, and then you can pull the whole thing open. Like so, to deflate it. And now the whole thing is deflating. And that lets the air out very quickly. Okay, I found this other inflator that actually plugs into a car. This should inflate it a lot faster. So that pump was a lot faster than the first one. You can also blow this up with your mouth pretty easily. It's just hard to blow it up with your mouth and then talk right away when you're doing a video. I like using these little inflator pumps. Another good option would be some sort of a hand pump. So now that I have it inflated, let's talk about the construction. This is made of 40D ripstop nylon and thermoplastic polyurethane, or TPU. It weighs 19 ounces, so it's under 1.5 pounds. It folds up to 10 inches by 4 inches, and when it's inflated, it's 78 by 23 by 1.9 inches. So those measurements appear to be correct. So let's get a little closer and look at the build of this. So this has these pockets here of air. And one thing to consider with an air mattress, and not just this mattress, but any mattress, is I think people have a tendency to blow them up all the way for a really firm mattress. And what you should do before you even go camping or whatever is test it out and see how much firmness you like, because sometimes it's more comfortable if you let a little bit of air out so it's not so full. And I'm sure everyone has their own preferences, but I would definitely test this out and see what you like better. And then sometimes you'll fill it all the way with inflator and you'll let out a little bit of air at a time until it's at that perfect firmness level. So this is a very lightweight material. You can see it's very thin but durable. So it's very light to carry around. And if you have like your elbow pressing into one of these pockets, it will move the air, displace the air to other pockets here. So it kind of contours to your body. So I have a number of different camping sleeping pads, and I have some foam ones and some self-inflating ones. And one of the big disadvantages of those is that they're very bulky. They take up a ton of room. They take a lot of room up when you're storing them. They take a lot of room when you're transferring them to the campsite. This thing rolls up into a tiny little, you saw it in the beginning, it's just a little rolled up pad. So even if you have a lot of room, it's nice having a sleeping pad that doesn't take up a lot of room, but it's especially nice for people who say live in an apartment complex, or if you want this for an emergency in your car. You can throw this in your trunk, and then if you're ever in a bind, you can use it to sleep in your car or sleep at a friend's house or whatever. It doesn't take up a lot of room. And when I was younger, sleeping pads were made of this really thick rubber material, and they were super heavy and they would get holes in them all the time. But now we're using these more modern materials, and they're super strong and they're super lightweight. I would always recommend carrying that patch with you in the bag. You can never predict when something might puncture an air mattress. That being said, I found these modern materials to be super durable. So the reason you want a sleeping pad like this is that if you lay on the cold ground, that ground will take all of the heat right out of your body. This provides a layer between you and the ground, insulating you from the temperature of the ground. And that actually goes for hot and cold. I find it a little more dangerous in the cold because it can really just take all the heat out of your body and give you hypothermia. A lot of people want a really warm sleeping bag, and that's important. It's equally important to have a good pad under you because while the air will cool you off, the ground will cool you off a lot faster. So this table is not quite long enough for this pad, so I'm going to go find a place where I can lay this out and lay on it and test it out. Okay, I found a place where I can lay this out. Now when I get down and put my knee down in the middle of it, my knee's going to go all the way to the ground. Each one of these pockets isn't able to hold up your whole body weight. It holds your body up when you're spread out over it. So now I'm laying down on it, and right now I think it's just a little bit too firm, so I'm going to let a little bit of air out. Okay, I find that to be more comfortable. So now I'll try on the side. This is working pretty good for me. So your pressure points are going to press down into parts of these here, and then the air will fill up the other parts. So you'll notice when you're laying down here, no matter what you have this filled to, all the ones that you're not laying on will appear to be full because your body has displaced the air in the ones that you're laying on. And of course you'll also have your sleeping bag under here too, which will give you a little bit more padding, but not a lot. After I shot that clip, I took a little nap on it, and it was very comfortable. So I know it can be a challenge for some people to fold things up, so I'm going to deflate this now and fold it up. So I'm going to pop this cap here and deflate it, and then I'll start at the other end, I'll fold it into thirds, and then I'll roll it up. And you can see I pulled the whole cap out. You can see the bottom here of that one-way valve right here. And that's a little bit sticky, and it's supposed to be so it seals well. And that's why that first air pump couldn't get through. It didn't have enough pressure to press this open. Now I could have easily blown it up with my mouth too. And most of the air just deflated on its own right now. So I still have little crease marks from where it was folded originally. So to roll this, you can see little creases in here every 2 inches. So I'll just fold that over, and that'll bulk up enough so I can start rolling it. Now I'll place the band over it, and I'll slide it back in the bag. So that's the EDEUOEY Ultralight sleeping pad. I think this will be a great addition to my camping gear. I like how it's small when it's packed up. It's super lightweight and very comfortable to sleep on. So that's all I have in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.